最強よ。こんなもん
気をつけて。
動じないで。先があらぬことを承諾。答え見つけてごらん。終わりまくらまで踊っちゃおう。
活力セットはお近くの滝湯谷で。内なる声に応え、恐れず進む。心の向くまま。気運なきパワーで。嵐に立ち向かい、そして打ち勝つ。カーブシティシリーズ。ああ。
みんなみんなだみんなだみんなだ。
打ちだけの剣に立つ。 真夜中の大冒険、きっと楽しいよ。探検日和だよ今日は。
星と深
無事今日星とし
ここは冒険者たちが活躍するのにぴったりな場所だと思いません？全然来ねえぞ。
この同点も華やいできましたね。この情景を目にできて感慨深いです。同点に
Итак,
しっかりついてこいよ。
手加減な。燃えろ。みんなは俺が
6308式ユニット。
レッカもっと激しく。
行くぞ。全力こう。
安全距離確認。7
レッカはっはっ
みんなは俺が。手加減な。
レッカよっとよっとしめはっはっとよっはっ
燃えろ。みんながそばにいてくれ。
超拡散形態630。
よっとそこはっとはっふっはっしめはっふっしっかり
全力攻撃だ。くらいやるか。
吸引テスト開始。
レッカふっはっよっとはっはっ
安全距離確認。無双の数。
手加減な。みんなは俺が。
よっはっよっとはっせいと傷が増えたよ。
吸引テスト開始。
燃えろ。全力攻撃。
6308。
レッカはっともっと激しくよっとふっはっはっ 武器は普段からいたわってやることだ。でないといざという時にそっぽを向かれちまうぞ。
Hello everyone, the Liberals are coming after Bad Empanada again, and this time it's another Zionist who is very angry at me. So, a couple months ago, as part of like a broader video talking about how the Palestine movement was being co-opted to just sheepdog people into the Democratic Party, I made like a 30-second long comment where I said that it's embarrassing that the ACP, like the party led by fucking infrared has a better position on how to fight imperialism from within the US than the people who are doing. A couple months ago, as part of like a broader video talking about how the Palestine movement was being co-opted to just sheepdog people into the Democratic Party, I made like a 30-second long comment where I said that it's embarrassing that the ACP, like the party led by fucking infrared has a better position on how to fight imperialism from within the US than the people who are doing Democratic Party entryism do. I said something like, you know, you should be embarrassed that these guys are doing better than you, that they're trying to form like an actual independent third party rather than just running Democratic Party candidates that betray them over and over again, or running Democratic Party candidates, sorry, that's giving them too much credit. The DSA people don't run their own candidates, they just vote for Democrats. They do nothing but that. They don't have their own candidates. So yeah, that's what I said. And the way that this is being framed by those people, these people who just co-opted the Palestine issue to try and funnel people into the Democratic Party, is that I support the ACP, and therefore I also support everything else that they support. Which I obviously don't. I have been making videos about Infrared Has and how he's a fucking dumbass for years, or at least years ago I used to. Like, I had these guys on my radar and I was talking about how ridiculous they are before you even had heard of Israel, okay? Look, me and Infrared Has were going at it 4 years ago, okay? 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you loved Hillary Clinton. Give me a fucking break here, please. So the point that I was making is that it's ridiculously embarrassing that this guy...
I was discovering squirters. P? Literally, you're stupid. Squirting is P? No, it's not. Or is it? Is it? I'm done with women. Is it? I'm done with women.
Oh, it's great. But the point that I'm making is that...
Is it? Is it? I'm done with women.
Oh, it's great. But the point that I'm making is that you try to frame yourself as like the adults in the room, the serious left-wingers, the real representatives of the American left. And your politics on imperialism are, we're going to support these people who immediately abandon everyone else in the world as long as they promise to give us free healthcare. We're going to support the Democrats who do genocide, which we claim to acknowledge as genocide, as long as they give us free healthcare. Not even give you free healthcare. They're not going to do that. They just claim to. They just pretend to. You abandon the rest of the world for a promise. Nothing more. At least the fucking ACP, led by this joker as they are trying to do something else, rather than just sheepdogging people into the Democrats, okay? That's the point that I was making. Now, what did Dead Domain say in response to me saying that? This is who Bad Empanada is gassing up right now. In response to Jackson Hinkle saying that he hates trans people or whatever. Yeah, I'm a well-known lover of Jackson Hinkle. I can't get enough of Jackson Hinkle. I'm gassing up Jackson Hinkle. That's definitely what happened. Says this person who is a Democratic Party entryist who has long been an open, unabashed Zionist propagandist. And I've uncovered yet more evidence of that I'm proud to be able to show you here. By the way, you see that there? Yeah, that's the new account right there, @Goy Empanada. Go follow it now so that we can ratio Zionist together. And this is we can ratio Zionist Goy at there I'm proud to be able to show you here. By the way, you see that there? Yeah, that's the new account right there, @Goy Empanada. Go follow it now so that we can ratio Zionist together. And this is part of something that always happens with these people, right? They know that I'm right. They know that I'm right in everything that I say about them. The thing is, they can't admit to that. They're too proud to admit to that. Like the last time I responded to Dead Domain literally deleted the video they made. The entire video that I was critiquing, they deleted it. I've never seen an admission that I was correct more than that. The video is just gone. It was their video on like, oh, the evils of anti-Semitism, which was their reaction to October 7th. Their reaction to the Gaza genocide was to make a video about how anti-Semitism is bad. I responded to it. I pointed out that they are a Zionist, obviously. Just, I'll show you the video on that on my second channel so you can check it out if you want. This one right here. Painful breadtube anti-Semitism video. Okay? And if you try and find this video on Dead Domain's channel, it's not there anymore. It doesn't pop up. You see, the thing that these people usually don't like, most of them like come around to my positions or something more approximating my positions years later after I call them out, and they will hold a grudge against me until the end of time for having called them out though. So I'm going to give Dead Domain yet another reason to hold a grudge against me until the end of time by showing you how Dead Domain defended themselves from accusations that they were a Zionist in the wake of them making that same anti-Semitism video that I previously critiqued. Here is them talking about the existence
机から離れるとホッとするな。どっかで昼寝でもするか。 嬉しいことがあるときは1000杯の酒でも足りないが、嬉しいことがないときにも酒は欠かせない。机から離れるとホッとするな。どっかで昼寝でもするか。
今日も子供たちが来るようならこのおもちゃをあげよう。
嬉しいことがあるときは1000杯の酒でも足りないが、嬉しいことがないときにも酒は欠かせない。机から離れるとホッとするな。どっかで昼寝でもするか。嬉しいことがあるときは1000杯の酒でも足りないが、嬉しいことがないときにも酒は欠かせない。
Of Israel and their opinion on it.
So here's the thing that
I just want to fucking note here, like the deep unseriousness of all of this. It's someone like with a background of video games, Funko Pops, all this sort of American pop culture consumption slop, depicting themselves as a satanic, pink, winged doe, or whatever the fuck that is, talking about how, like, the Jewish state deserves to exist and Jews deserve to have their own special ethno state because they're such a special, innately oppressed group of people. This is bread tube, substanceless people delving into things they have no business talking about in the first place. Slop par excellence. This is someone who should be talking about, like, themes of sorrow and loss in whatever the video game they have in the background there is. Not about whether or not Israel has a right to exist. And I don't understand how they ever started wading into these topics to tell us shit like this about them, which is kind of self-explanatory once you hear it.
like in studying the totality of this, in studying how the Jewish people, because like people act like one day the Jewish people just decided to go settle in Israel. And it was kind of given to them, and like there is a lot of shady shit in how they were essentially just told, like, yeah, you can just go on that land and it's yours now. And that's terrible. That's awful. But the idea that like, oh, Israel, like Jewish people don't deserve a state of their own. It's like, I urge anybody who thinks that to actually look at the history of how Jews were persecuted.
Okay, so Jews deserve a state of their own, i.e. Israel, because of how they were persecuted. Okay? Excellent.
Which is largely what I was doing in that video. Like, go look at the specifics of how they were targeted.
Literally arguing that ethno-nationalism can be legitimized by persecution. That's the argument being made here by this left-wing progressive, okay? It's just Americans. This is what passes for the left in America.
And so I don't think, like, Israel is not a legitimate state. I don't think it is. At the same time, and here's the real problem, here's the bone of contention, I feel.
So, like, you say Israel is no legitimate state, and then you go on to explain to us why, nonetheless, Israel is a legitimate state. It feels like you're just trying to please both sides here. It feels like you're just talking out of both sides of your mouth because you don't actually believe in anything. You rather want to say things that you think will ingratiate you to the widest audience possible. Like, you want to sound progressive, you want to sound like you care, without actually taking a really firm position on the side of the actual victim population here, which are the Palestinians. Because doing so would be too inconvenient for you, wouldn't it? And that's how you get this sort of statement, where Dead Domain, first they're like, Jews deserve an ethno-state in regards to Israel, and then saying, Israel is not a legitimate state, in the same breath. And then going on to explain how actually Israel is a legitimate state and it's been legitimized because the settlers have been there for too long now. Incredible stuff, man.
You have people who have now lived there for generations. And this is where people talk about the two-state solution. Where enough time has passed, unfortunately, that like you can't just say to Israel, like it is not, as much as you would like to, you cannot just say to this massive country that has this big platform on a world stage, that has this backing of all these Western countries, you cannot just say, hey, pack up your shit and go elsewhere. We don't care, because where else are they going to go? Like, there are people.
No one gives a shit about where they're going to go. We don't give a shit about the fucking settlers. They've proven themselves to be undeserving of such consideration. When they think that thing about their victims, perhaps they can be deserving of it, but they don't, okay? It's like saying, oh, but where are the German settlers going to go if we take over Partlet? It's like saying, oh, but think about the poor German settlers in Poland. Don't give a fuck. Who cares? Why are you even invoking them? No one cares. And you talk about, like, the Western backing and all of this stuff, like that can't be fought against, like it's just a fact of life. Like, that's how things are. No one's thinking that the Palestinians are going to take back Palestine tomorrow, okay? It's something that we work towards over time. But you can't imagine a better world, can you? All that you can imagine is a world where Zoran Mamdani wins the election to then send the NYPD against people protesting land sales in synagogues. That's the end goal of your vision for the world, and no fucking wonder you're talking like this when your worldview is so pessimistic, so nihilistic, that you clearly don't believe such a thing is even remotely possible. That you clearly don't believe that anything better is even remotely possible, so we just gotta have to deal with it. We just have to deal with the fact that these Israeli settlers are gonna be there forever, and the Palestinians are gonna have to deal with the fact that their home is the property of these Israelis now. That's your vision for the world, and it's a fucking bleak one, and I choose to fight for something better, unlike you.
There is an entire economy, there's infrastructure, there is a government that exists there now.
What the fuck is this?
It didn't exist there in the past. Arguably, it shouldn't exist. The tangible reality is, though, it does.
If your personality is video games, you shouldn't be able to talk about politics. If your personality is video games and anime, you should be barred legally from talking about politics.
And this is where the two-state solution comes in, is like, how can you minimize damage to the civilians who live there, both Palestinians and Israeli, while allowing them to live together in peace and harmony?
Yeah, the Palestinians should just deal with the fact that their homes and land are occupied by Israelis and live with them in peace and harmony. Okay, excellent, fantastic.
as much as I know a lot of people and a lot of leftists, and especially we'll get to like radical tankies.
Radical tankies.
For them, I feel it is easier to say, like, oh, you, like, any advocation for Israel is genocide apologia. And when
It is. Yeah, it is. You just outright said you advocated for Israel. Yeah, you genocide apologia. You advocated for Israel.
I say in the video that
They outright said they advocated for Israel. Like, what? Yeah, you did.
Israel deserves to exist as a state, I don't mean
Okay, so you think Israel deserves to exist? I mean, that's where it ends.
That
You're a Zionist.
Israel-
You're a Zionist.
the government deserves to exist as a state. And
What does that mean?
possibly, I should have been more clear about this, I guess.
Doesn't even make any
But
sense.
I was trying to be succinct, and sometimes that doesn't always come across. I meant that, like, the civilians who live there, the Israelis who live there, as
The civilians are part and parcel of the civilians are part and parcel of the ethno-nationalist project. Their very presence there is a part of it. They exist to legitimize the state's claim to the land that they stole. And you are de facto legitimizing that by advocating on their behalf to allow them to keep occupying the land that they stole.
also don't deserve to, like, it is this great back and forth that has been happening. And I don't mean great as in good, I mean great as in massive, seismic in scale.
You're about to hear this left-wing progressive engage in reverse genocide propaganda, outright claiming that Palestinians taking their land back would be a Nakba of Israelis. I'm fucking...
Where